Today's Japanese is pocha, which comes from a shortening of the Korean word pojangmacha, or something like that. I get comments about my Japanese pronunciation, but I can promise you that my Korean pronunciation is worse. In Korean, though, this is just a snack cart, or as some Japanese websites describe, a food cart style izakaya. Now, in Korean, of course, actually, the shortening of pocha, which is written like this, is nothing new, and it has been around for a long time. And indeed, if you do a Google image search for it, you can see that there are often carts in a sort of tent style with this bright orange covering around them. This phrase entered the Japanese language, though, predominantly through a show known in English as Mystic Pop-Up Bar, or in Japanese as Sangapu Yatai. If you look at the Korean name, though, pocha is in there at the very, very end. So this was distributed in Japan via Netflix, became fairly popular, and got Japanese people not only interested in pocha, but actually creating pocha in Japan. For instance, in this tweet here, the pocha that is being discussed is not one in Korea, which of course would be pretty expected, but one that is somewhere just near the Kyobayashi Bridge. While this is a simple term, I should stress that a key feature of the pocha is that, well, unlike in Korea, it doesn't have to be kind of the outdoor food stall, and any kind of hole-in-the-wall style bar or restaurant can be called a pocha, at least on the internet. It does have to focus on Korean food, especially mostly snack-style dishes. For instance, a Korean yakiniku, or one focusing on larger Korean dishes, or of course just a general Japanese izakaya would not be a pocha, but something like this absolutely is a pocha. Two things you do need to be careful about, though, in encountering the word pocha in the wild. First, note that it can also just be a common name for a dog, I guess any kind of cute character. So yeah, I suppose you could say pocha wa pocha de taberu, if your pet named Pocha eats at a pocha, but just remember, if someone says pocha ga imasu, that means that it's a living thing and therefore cannot be a small hole-in-the-wall style bar or restaurant serving Korean food. Pocha can also be a shortening of pochari, which means to be a little bit chubby. This is generally used as a na adjective, as in sentences like pocha no onaka, with pocha no sometimes occurring but being much more rare. Pocha can also just be a description, though, as in this post saying pocha nanode, or because I'm chubby. This can also be verbed as pocharu, as in this statement here, where somebody says that they pochatte shite kita. Although, as you can see by the amount of the photo I'm showing, I'm not really sure where exactly is pochatteru, but hey, it's out there. Yes, of course, this does mean you can say pocha ga pocha de pochatta if your pet named Pocha went and ate way too much Korean food.
Actually, there's even more. It's even more confusing. So there's also a phrase, ike pocha, which is normally used when a golf ball goes into the water, but by extension can be used when anything falls into a body of water, such as your oshi. And on top of that, Pokemon Piplup in English is known as Pochamu in Japanese, which is of course shortened to pocha. So I guess you could say pocha to pocha ga ike pocha shita pocha de pochatta. Kana?
See you next time.